Happy New Year, everyone. As we all know, we are officially in 2024, and I am just so excited to be here with you guys. So thank you so much for being a Patreon member. And as I began to do the 2024 predictions, I realized that there's actually a prediction that's a lot more accurate and much more in depth that I think all of you are going to enjoy more than doing an actual sign by sign prediction for 2024, because really the transits between 2024 and 2023 don't really change a lot. The major transits are going to remain the same, like Saturn, the North and South node, as well as Jupiter is the only one that's changing signs. And then there's smaller transits here and there. So I wouldn't really make as much of an impact as this video will. So in this video, instead of a 2024 prediction, I'm going to do a 1.5-year prediction for all the rising and moon signs as it pertains to the cycles that we are going to be repeating in reverse from the years of 2014 through the year 2017. So basically 2015, 2016, and 2017. So what does it mean? How is that reversal happening for you in your own life based on your rising and your moon sign? And this is going to apply to you for the next 1.5 years and on, because even after the next 1.5 years, the 2017 cycle continues to become activated in a very major way. So the cycles of 2015 and 2014 are repeating themselves right now in a reverse manner. From the years of 2005, 2006, and then 2014, 2015. So now they're coming back around for us to repeat them, but in a reverse manner, almost as if like the roles have been reversed in some way or another. So whatever you experienced during this time, themes around that are going to be resurfacing now in order for you to do it differently. So you might be presented with similar choices, but now having the knowledge that you have from those years, you're going to tackle them differently. And then for the years of 2016 and 2017, Saturn is transiting a pivotal point of where the South Node, the past karma, was transiting back in 2016, 2017. So Saturn is activating that area of life at this time for the next 1.5 years in order to bring a more solid nature to that area than what we had back in 2016, 2017. So we're in essence redoing that area, but in a more structured manner versus 2016, 2017. That area of life was we viewed it in a more detached manner and in a more elusive manner. Now we're bringing stability to that area of life. And I'm going to tell you exactly how that's playing out for you. Rising and moon. So the 2014, 2015 cycles of the North and South node are going to be activating your 12th and your 6th house. So that means that there's going to be a reversal of whatever happened back in 2014, 2015. So you're going to feel, for some of you, as if possibly in 2014, 2015, especially for the Aries, maybe you were highly focused on everyday minutia, everyday life, health, wellness, and less concerned with the broader topics of life, like the meaning of life, isolation in order to let go of limiting beliefs, healing yourself internally from the inside out. Now, this is a time period when you're going to reverse that. You're going to be less concerned with everyday minutia and much more concerned with how to tap into the bigger picture of life, what being less of service to others and compromising yourself as a result, and instead focused on your own well-being. What makes you happy? What do you need to let go of? How can you isolate so that you can regenerate yourself? This is a time of receiving receiving spiritual insights, receiving spiritual teachings. Maybe some of you learning more about yourself, or going back to school, or possibly moving completely away. If you were living in the States, or if you visited countries back in 2016, back in 2014, 2015, maybe this is a time when you actually move there. If you started a new position, maybe this is a time when you leave that position in order to seek the more hidden side of life. If you started a starting career path, now this is a time when you are revisiting that and possibly letting it go for a broader and bigger picture type of connection to yourself and to others in a very spiritual way. So if you were suffering from any illnesses back in 2014, 2015, this is a time when you heal that. If you were, possibly some of you could be struggling, or if you weren't struggling back then with your health, then this could be a time when you realize that you need to give more attention to your mental health than your physical health. Or for some of you, giving more attention to your physical health than your mental health. So if you were focused more on your mental in 2014, 2015, now it's your physical. Maybe some of you could be traveling or moving abroad or coming back from that move that you made back in 14, 15. For Aries and Libra risings, let me go back to that. Risings, the cycle of 2016, 2017 is going to help you completely restructure the area of life that deals with your wishes, your fulfillment, your happiness, your friendships, and children. So if in 2016, 2017, maybe you got married or you wanted to have children, you got like a pet or something like that. Now this could be a time when you actually get pregnant and conceive, or maybe you start a business of your own, especially if in 2016, 2017, now you're going to solidify that business idea that you really wanted to start in 2016, 2017. Now it's a solidification and a restructuring of that so that it can stand the test of time. So possibly going into a new institution and getting really promoted, climbing up the institution, being really seen through social media, starting a business, or even like friendships, your connections, solidifying them, restructuring, really through a slow and steady way, gaining a lot. All of your wishes, gaining them, especially the wishes that you had in 2016, 2017 that were not fulfilled. Now you're going to gain them in a very solid manner that can't be taken away. Even if it takes some time to get there, it doesn't matter because this is solid. This is a restructuring. This is your friendships. This is your connections. This is your gains. This is your money. This is your friendships, your having fun, having children, pregnancy. So this could be a return of that, a restructuring of that. I hope you guys enjoyed this in 14, 15, or themes around travel from that period can come back up. Maybe you're going to the same places as you did back then, or maybe you're going to go back to an old job that you were picking back up from that era. Traveling or just like completely moving away, but also a period of a lot of changing of your beliefs of how you view the world from what you thought back in 15, 14. So if you viewed the world in a very pessimistic and like small detailed type of manner, this is the time when you're going to reverse that and you're going to view the bigger picture, and whatever is not working in your bigger picture mentality has got to go. So if you were very focused on rational and very logical, what do I need in my everyday life that's going to make me happy, and I need to stay in this unhappy situation in order to satisfy that my everyday life, that's what you were thinking in 2014, 2015. Now you're going to be thinking more selfishly about yourself. And what does this mean in the grand scheme of it all for me to stay in an unhappy situation because in my day-to-day life, I am okay. You're going to be thinking about the bigger, broader picture versus in 2014, 2015, you were thinking about the more logical, smaller details of things that now are no longer going to be serving you, but in a very similar manner. So you're shifting your point of view, you're shifting your beliefs around those things. Scorpio, this period of 2014, 2015, you're really going to be focusing on what is serving you in terms of your relationships, your love, and your higher wishes. If in 2014, 2015, you were very focused on what is logical and what is practical in your love life and in your dreams and hopes and wishes, this is a time when you're going to be thinking bigger picture and in a more esoteric type of way in order to achieve your hopes and dreams, because this is a time when past manifestations, past love, past hopes and dreams can come back into your life. Maybe if you wanted to start your own business back in 14, 15 and you were unable to, this is a time when you actually started and it's successful. Maybe you were thinking about getting into a relationship back in 14, 15, but it was illogical and it was impractical. This is a time when you actually achieve it because you're not thinking about the practical or the logical way. You're thinking about the bigger picture of your happiness this time around. This could be also a time when you are going to be viewing your relationship to your children, your relationship to your friendships, major focus on manifesting better relationships, more aligned relationships, in those terms. Maybe you're picking up an old hobby or from 2014, 2015, but doing it differently in a way that's more successful this time around. If you were successful back in 2014, 2015, you might be rethinking what you started then and realizing that you have to bring it more into the times now. You have to look at it in a more broader perspective and a bigger picture perspective than in the smaller critical way of viewing it, like it has been serving you up until now. So this can mean like maybe you had a child back in 2014, 2015, and the way that you raised this child was very rigid and was very strict or was very critical, and now you're realizing maybe that's not what works. Maybe you have to be a much more gentle parent and understand that there's a bigger, higher spiritual meaning to everything, and allow view it differently and have another child this time around and raise them in a different manner. If you had a child then, if you were trying to conceive then and you were unable to because of health issues or whatever it might have been that was getting in the way, now is a time when you actually conceive. If it was something around relationships, past relationships that weren't working, this could be a time when that actually works. Your hopes and dreams are going to be a major component in this next year and a half. Whatever hopes and dreams you had in 2014 that were unrealized, now is the time when they become manifested. In terms of the transit of 2016 and 2016 and 2017, this is a much more solid and restructured way of viewing what happened then. So if back then you were focusing on a certain career, now is a time when you focus on that career or on a different career, but in a much more solid and structured manner where you actually see the fruits and the results of it. It could also deal with your home environment. Maybe you're moving homes from where you lived back then, or maybe you're completely shifting your happiness and your home life from back then. Some of you, if you moved back in 2014, 2015, I'm sorry, 2016, 2017, this could be a time when you move again, but this time it's because of career. Back then, it could have been because of home or because of your mother or because of your happiness or because you were obligated to. This is a time when you're actually doing it on your own accord and in a very structured manner that's going to last the test of time. So this 2016, 2017 is about structure, and it's about stability, and it's about longevity. Whatever you started then, 2016, 2017, now it's going to have a much more longevity type of flair to it. Like in my own case, 2015, 2016, 2017, I was doing social media, but I was doing blogging because I was putting myself through college in psychology, and I wasn't doing as well, but it was, little monies here and there. And it was like through Instagram at the time. And I was like blogging my travels and things like that. And now I'm actually doing full-time social media, and I've created a whole business around it. I'm no longer doing I am still doing therapy, but it's way different than what I did back then. And it's in a lot more stable and solid way where I'm actually seeing the results and the growth of it. So those themes are coming back around career and home life in a much more solid way. This could also mean a status change for some of you. If you were trying to conceive or start a family or get married back then, this could be a time when it happens. If you went through a divorce back then, you might get remarried now. If you were in the process of conceiving, this could be a time when you actually have the child. So there's a really big year for the Sagittarius and Taurus sign. Off to the next one, which is the Gemini and Sagittarius. Taurus and Scorpio signs, this big year. Now we're off to Gemini and Sagittarius. Sorry about the confusion. Aries. This time period of 2014, 2015 is going to bring a reversal for you in terms of your happiness, your home life, and your happiness and your home life. 14, 15. So if in 14, 15, let's say that you got a new position, got a new job, changed careers, Now, and then you kind of like neglected your own happiness a little bit. There's going to be a time when you're going to be much more focused on what brings you happiness, what brings you stability. And then the opposite is if in 2014, 2015, you're more focused on happiness and like fulfillment, now you're going to feel this urge and this desire to go towards your image and like how you're perceived by others and the outside world. So it's going to be a change of between, it's like a change of image and how others perceive you, as if different than what it was then. So if back then you were, let's say, single, now you could be getting married, or that's a change of status from what happened in 2014. Or maybe in 2014, 2015, you met someone and you guys got into a relationship, and now in this reversal you end up getting married. So it's like a complete shift of that. Then there's also the also same thing with like your home, you're like, maybe you bought a home and now you could be selling it. So a reversal of that to buy something better, or maybe you're leaving behind an old career path that you started before, or that you started then, or like an aspect of it in search of, or maybe you become a mother, or maybe then you got married and now you're becoming a mother. So it's that shift. And then for the 2017, 2016 cycle, your focus is more on your beliefs and your higher power. So, or even travel, or your point of view in life. Maybe if back then you viewed life from a set of lens, like I don't want to ever get married. Now you're shifting that, and maybe you're getting engaged and you're wanting to get married. Or possibly, oh, I don't want to do a certain thing in my career, and now you're shifting that point of view, and you're viewing it differently. Or some of you could be going back to school. If back then you weren't in school, or if you were in school, maybe it's that time when you go back to school, but for something different. So you have to look in your own life to see what in that area is being triggered, because it's something to do with those areas. But in terms of 2017, 2016 is more of a stability, not really a reversal, but more of a stability and of a structuring and of adding value. So if you were thinking about starting school in 2016, 2017, and that never happened, or you started and you weren't unsure about your career path, now it's a time when it's going to be much more solid, where you get into that higher education program, or when you finally graduate that higher education program and you have that solid foundation that you kind of like started in 2016, 2017. Could also apply for your siblings. It could also apply for like your courage, or a business that you started. Now that you're seeing it in a lot more solid, with a bigger solid foundation, or starting a business, versus in 16, 17, maybe you let go of a business, or you ended a business, or you went into the workforce and now you're going into starting your own business. Things like that could happen, but whatever happened in 2016, 2017, now it's going to be much more solid, much more structured, because the structures are falling apart so that you can rebuild them in a way that's going to stand the test of time. Capricorn, rising and moon. So this 2014, 2015 cycle is going to be activating for you your higher knowledge and like your point of view in life, as well as your luck factor. So if in 2014, 2015, you were more focused on like little details of things, like the minutia of everyday life, and not really looking at things from a big picture perspective, like long-term perspective, this is a time when you're really diving deep into that. And for example, maybe going back to school, or traveling the world, or really getting deep into your craft, whether that's the media, social media, or whether that's some kind of career that you have, profession. This is something that's going to be very important for you, because you're letting go of like the smaller details of things that you were too focused on back in 2014, 2015, even like something related to like siblings or something like that. Or it can be the complete opposite, where back in 2014, 2015, you were very focused on the big picture thing, and you lack the connection of everyday life, the connection of family, the connection of friends, the connection of neighborhood, and you were so focused on your career, or like being abroad, or like traveling or something like that, that you completely disregarded how important everyday life is, and your neighborhood, and the little details of life. Like you can't just live in la la land always, you have to stay grounded. So this is going to be a time when a lot of themes around like teachers, school, teaching others, becoming a teacher yourself, learning something about to change your perspective and to increase your luck in life, This is a really prosperous time as well. So if you were feeling not so prosperous back in 2014, 2015, there's a reversal of that. Or if you were feeling very with a lot of courage, too much courage to the point where you weren't really seeing the perspective of others in 2014, 2015, and therefore that could have hurt you or hurt them in some way. Now those people may be coming back into your life in order to reverse that. Even with your parents, maybe some of you could have left your parents behind in 2014, 2015. Now you can be going back to them. Or some of you could have stayed with your parents and neglected like the bigger part of life, like being on your own, and now you're going to go do that. So it's that type of reversal. And then for 2016, 2017, you're restructuring and bringing a lot of stability to the area of life that deals with your security, that deals with your abundance, that deals with your confidence, as well as your resources in life, maybe undergoing a major transformation in your family, in your finances, in order to bring stability to them. Even though it can feel at first as if everything has to break down, whatever you found stability in prior, like in 2014, 2016, 2017, now that's going to break down so you can create new structures, new walls that are going to be able to sustain through time. So maybe you graduated school back in 16, 17, and you started a job that was very comfortable, but that's not really part of your purpose. So now Saturn comes in there and it's going to break down those walls. Maybe even you lose the job, or maybe you've realized that you're not satisfied there. So then you leave that job behind and you start something on your own, and you build it from the ground up, and it's a lot more sustainable at this time. Or you feel like you have to let go of attachments to people, to things that are not serving you, that are holding you back. Maybe that's family, or maybe even creating family, maybe creating maybe you got like a pet or something in 2014, 2015, or you got married or something like that, and now you're starting a family, or maybe you're getting a divorce. So endings and beginnings in terms of your resources are going to be very important for you right now. Whatever the opposite of whatever was going on then. Doesn't mean that if you're married that you're going to get a divorce. Absolutely not. It can mean like a higher level of joining assets. Maybe you start a business together. Maybe you start traveling together, and then you join assets with each other. Look at it from your moon and your rising to know really what's going on. Now we're off to Leo and Aquarius. New moon. So the cycles of 2014, 2015, they're activating for you your 8th and 2nd house. So this is something to do with your family life as well as your resources in life. So in 2014, 2015, maybe you were really focused on the smaller details of being frugal, or probably like working towards abundance and feeling not looking at the bigger picture of it all, not looking at how you can just allow abundance to come to you, instead working very hard for it and not seeing much result through it. But now this reversal, it's like you're going to be working on the same things, like resources, finances, family life, but in a way where you're looking at the bigger picture of life, not so stuck in the smaller details of things. Possibly even have changed the way that you view money, or changed the way that you view family. Possibly in 2014, 2015, some of you could have been very focused on your family life, and now you're more focused on the deeper side of life, and like on transforming yourself and transforming your identity, so that you can even deal with things to do with like taxes, or things to do with sudden income coming to you from unexpected places. You can allow all those things, versus back in 2014, 2015, although that could have happened, it was less of you weren't able to really see it. Now you're seeing the bigger picture of life and what makes up all the puzzle of this like very dark and very mysterious life that we live. So, and then the reversal can also be happening, where if in 2014, 2015 you were more focused on transforming your resources, on investments and all of those things, now you're going to be more focused on how does this serve me in terms of my family, in terms of my stability, in terms of my self-worth. What do I find worthy? Is all of that even worth it? You know, what is truly worth it in life? Is it money? Is it family? Is it finances? Is it, what is it? You're going to be asking yourself those kinds of questions. Maybe some of you started a family back then, or maybe now you're feeling more detached from your family, or maybe you were taking care of your family in 2014, 2015, and now you're feeling more detached in that sense, or like taking care of them indirectly, or just like more detached from like physically being there for them. Maybe you had kids back then and now they're getting a little bit older and you no longer have to like be so on top of them. Or maybe the reversal where now you have kids and now you have to be more change the way that you view family life and be more on top of them. It could be a plethora of things, but for the most part, this is dealing with family life, your worth, your abundance, money, inheritances, investments. So this could be a time when you view investments from like a larger scale, like you're no longer playing small when it comes to money. Now you're going to be playing big. Or for some of you, you've played big before, so now you're focusing more on like solidifying or finding ways to spend your money that's more logical, that's more frugal in a way, or focus it more towards your family and where you're going to leave behind for your family. And then the cycle of 2016, 2017 deals with your relationships to yourself and to others. So in 2016, 2017, now what's happening is that you're solidifying and restructuring your relationship to the outside world, your marriage, your partnerships. If you got into a relationship then, this could be a time when you get married in that relationship. Now it's solidified. Or if you started a relationship, it didn't go well, and at the time when you end it. Or maybe you can also be restructuring your boundaries around your partnerships, around relationships, versus back then you were just allowing any type of relationship, any type of connection without really making it a solid type of connection. Now you're finding ways to restructure your connections and make it a lot more solid and in a way where they can stand time. This could be marriage. This could be business. This could be even your connections to others in general, solidifying them, restructuring them, versus in 2016, 2017, you were less focused on that because you were more self-focused. You were more focused on your needs and what you wanted out of life. Now you're a lot more focused on how does it impact others and what do I need out of others. Okay, now we're off to the last sign, which is Virgo and Pisces, rising and moon. So the cycle of 2014, 2015 for the next year and a half is really activating in a reverse manner, a cycle as it pertains to your sense of self, your identity, your body, your health, and then the relationship that you have to others. In 2014, 2015, some of you could have been very focused on your identity. You could have been very focused on your sense of self, and what you wanted out of life. And now the reversal is happening where you're seeking connections from others. You're seeking connections from the outside world. You're seeking different types of connections, versus before you might not have wanted that, or you wanted that, but they just came very natural. Now you're actually putting a lot of effort into them. Or it could be the reversal where in 2014, 2015, you neglected relationships altogether and you were very self-focused. And now you're going to be more focused on relationships, or it could be the other way where now you're more focused on your sense of self and what you want and what you need for yourself, and becoming a lot more independent or a lot more confident within yourself, and sort of allowing the relationships to be something that comes to you naturally, that just effortlessly, or very meant to be type of connections. This could be a time when you reunite with people from your past, especially with people from 2014, 2015. This could also be a time when you're letting go of past relationships from 2014, 2015, or this can also be a time when you're letting go of a part of yourself in order to unite, or in order to go towards connecting with others in a very big picture kind of way. Maybe not in a connection in marriage, but maybe like in with others through technology or in business. Maybe if you started something new, like you got married around this time, maybe this could be a time when you're solidifying a divorce. If you got into a relationship, now is the time when you get married or you get engaged or something like that. So it's a reversal of that. And then for the 2016, 2017 cycle, this deals with your mental and physical health. So if in 2016, 2017, you're now solidifying and restructuring your health, your everyday life, how that impacts your mental health, how that impacts your sleep, how that impacts your being seen by others. So if in 2016, 2017, you were much more focused on, isolation, being away from the world or moving away from the world. Now you're going to be much more in tune and restructuring on what it takes to create a healthy habits in your life and in your everyday life, of creating like structure in your everyday life so you can live a healthy life mentally and physically. Even in work wise, this could be an increase in your work. This could be a really strong stability in terms of like how to heal yourself. First, the walls have to break down and then you rebuild them, because in 2017, 2016, maybe you didn't care so much about that. Maybe you were a lot more focused on either in your mental or in a really like odd or a really like different type of way of viewing your body and viewing your everyday life, your routine. And now you're really going to solidify your routine, have a very strict type of routine that's going to help you stand the test of time, that's going to help you heal your body. So if anything comes up for you health wise, deal with it, because this transit is gonna help you get through that and heal that. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments if you have any other questions so that I can make other videos about it. Bye.